Welcome to another edition of TSSA Safety Matters. I'm your host, Kerr from Stakeholder Relations, and today we're on location at Collingwood's Blue Mountain to talk about the critical role that ski lift operators and tenants play in keeping skiers and snowboarders safe across the province. And here's Jim Palmer, TSSA's Ski Lift Safety Inspector and Regional Supervisor. How's it going, Jim?
Oh, good, Greg. It's a great day to be out.
Excellent. So let's head over to the loading area and talk about some of the issues there.
Certainly, great. Let's do it.
We're here, but Jim, before we dig into why ski lift attendants and operators play such a critical role, maybe you could explain why their job is so tough.
Well, as you can see, the chairs are coming by here. If you count, every about 6 or 7 seconds, another chair is coming. We have people coming in every 6-7 seconds, trying to get shuffled up into place. Some people are beginners, some they can barely stand on their skis, some people are going to drop their poles, some people are going, and maybe they're checking tickets, I don't know. They've got all this stuff going on around them every 6-7 seconds. That's a lot to keep track of.
Mm. And don't they have specific regulations on the number of people that they're required to have?
Yeah, the code specifies that there has to be an operator in charge of every ski lift, and as well an attendant at each loading area and on every unloading area. Mm-hmm. But there is a provision that allows the operator and the attendant to be the same person, as long as that person can provide adequate surveillance, make sure they can see everything they need to see to do their job. So in this case today, we're here midweek. It's not all that busy. They have, they have an operator looking after the lift alone. I see he's got a little help here right now, doing a little bit of shoveling and stuff. Mm-hmm. So that's excellent. I'd like to see that, so the operator's not distracted doing his own shoveling while he should be watching passengers. That's good.
Exactly. Now, you have seen scenarios where, like, unfortunate things have occurred, maybe that highlight the critical importance of that surveillance.
Yeah, unfortunately I've had to investigate accidents as part of my job, try to find out what happened so they don't happen again. And unfortunately I've had to investigate a couple different accidents where someone didn't successfully get seated completely on the chair. Sometimes they'll if they're young skiers, they're not maybe quite as tall, they may get the seat right up in the middle of their butt and not get fully on the seat. Somebody's trying to hold them, or they're holding themselves, and they get a ways out of the station they can't hold anymore, and then they become a hanger. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And at that point, I guess resorts emergency procedures kick in.
Yeah, before the season, all the staff needs to be trained. The resorts are going to have emergency procedures, and before we start, we need to have our staff trained in what those are. So when the bad thing happens, they don't have to try to figure it out, read a manual, do whatever. They know what's going on and they know what to do.
And they can practice those, which is really important.
Yeah, they'll practice doing onloads from chairs, from getting hangers off. If the lift breaks down and they have to do evacuations, that needs to be practiced so they know what's going on and who's responsible for what.
Mm-hmm. In one incident, you had a very quick-thinking attendant who used one of the pads in a scenario like that. Yeah,
we had a unfortunate incident where a young boy, 12, was riding with his father and his uncle, and he didn't get fully on the seat. He was just sort of half on, half off, and the father thought he could hold him. And they ended up getting up the hill quite a ways, up to about Tower 2, and he couldn't hold him anymore. So he ended up slipping off the seat and he's hanging. And they stopped the lift, and the mechanic got up the hill on his snowmobile, and he cut a tower pad off the tower real quick and got it under there to try to help. Unfortunately, through the interview with the father, his son was choking because his coat was being pulled up and choking him, and it was the hardest thing that this father had to do, to let his son fall. And luckily the injuries weren't severe, and that they were all stuff that he healed from, and so it was very lucky.
Mm-hmm. Now, I guess the challenge for a lot of operators and attendants, there are a variety of different players on the field. How do they deal with a lot of those issues, and how do they be proactive about them?
Yeah, you're right. We have ski school coming in, we've got young kids, we have all these different things, and every resort's going to have different policies around how they deal with these things. They need to have a procedure. What do they do with 4 young kids come up, want to get on the chair. If the operator's not sure that they can handle the safety bar on their own, you need to be trained on what those procedures are. Maybe your procedure will be to pair them up with an adult. Talk to your supervisor, find out what that procedure is.
Mm-hmm. And I guess not to, like when ski schools show up, sometimes an attendant might think, they got it, I don't have to worry.
True. I've heard that from different operators. The ski school has their own line. They're given special treatment. They got to hold everybody back, and they go on with their instructors. But as far as you're concerned as an operator, you're responsible for the operation of the lift. And if you see something unsafe going on with young riders or whatever the situation might be, even though it's ski school, you're the one that has the finger on the stop button that says, hey, I don't like this. This doesn't look good to me. So you need to take that initiative to make sure the riders are going to be safe, regardless of who they are.
Excellent. So let's head up on the chair and check out stuff at the top.
Great.
So we're at the top. Jim, what are some of the things that operators and attendants need to sort of pay attention up here?
Well, just like at the bottom, there's a chair coming every 6 or 7 seconds, loaded with people. Some of them know how to ski, some of them don't. Some might fall on the ramp, so they always got to be watching what they're doing. If somebody's right in the middle of the ramp, they probably need to stop the chair to make sure the next group don't collide with them. They should always be also watching to see if people are raising the bar too soon. And I would like to see operators spend maybe a little bit more time outside their shack talking to patrons if they are lifting the bar too soon, just to get that message out there to the patrons about the new signs that are now closer to the onload point.
And identify those behaviors like immediately.
Yeah, it's the more they can communicate with them, the better. And things will only change. Attitudes will only change over time, and so it takes a bit of effort. But after a period of time, I think we'll see a lot more people raising the bar where the signs are with just a little communication.
But I guess the important point is they're always their hands close to that button, right?
Right, exactly. The operator should never leave the station. Unfortunately, I had to attend an incident where a lady went to the hospital with stitches. A chair hit her at the onload ramp, and through further investigation, I found out that the lady spoke Mandarin Chinese. And the operator said he went approached the lady. I told her to keep her head down. She didn't listen to me, and immediately, the bells went off for me. It's like, what are you doing approaching the lady with the lift still running? So the important message is never leave your station with the lift running. Once you leave your station, you have no control to do anything. And as well, it's a safety thing for you. If you were to get hit by the chair as well as an operator, then now you can't do anything. Now we need to get somebody to help skiers and the operator. So never leave the lift running with the when you're not at your controls.
And what about issues like texting?
Yeah, that's always a problem. It's a problem when we're driving. It's out there at the ski hills, and I know most ski hills have a policy about cell phone use at work. That message is not that important. You can catch up on your break or after work. The skier's safety is your primary responsibility.
Mm-hmm. So as we do enter another safe and fun ski season, is there a final message you want to give to operators and attendants?
Well, if they've heard nothing of what we said today, the message is that we realize the job is there's a lot going on, and it's not always easy, but to be diligent to the end. It's a long season, and you don't want anybody being hurt on your watch.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants that.
No.
All right, thanks a lot, Jim. Looking forward to getting into it, and we will have more information along with this video that will help operators and attendants keep Ontarians safe all across the province. Stay tuned for more TSSA Safety Matters.